Open your damn mouth about the business that you are running to every single person you know. Let's get serious in this video and let's talk about how and why you are being fed the worst advice out there. And this is not going to be about SaaS. This is not going to be about gurus. This is going to be me talking to you and the things that you need to do, and finally kind of revealing the exact steps that I took in my agency to go from teaching or vice principal in a high school to retiring at the age of 35 and generating millions of dollars online. But before I do, let me set the mood. It was many, many years that I tried to make money online. I am embarrassed to admit that it took me a very, very long time. I think my first attempt was probably 2007, maybe even 2008 or 2009. But I do know that my first attempt was with like software crawlers and writing blogs and basically doing every shiny object that there is out there. And it just was obvious that people falter, including myself, and take forever to find success online for two main reasons. Number one reason is they aren't choosing the right business model because they want fast and flashy. They want to be able to brag to their parents and to their friends that they found this new business opportunity that now they're making tens of thousands of dollars a month. And I know that because I've felt the same feelings before. I know that because I've been down the rabbit holes. Created a blog in probably 2011 or 12 called I Buy, I Review. And one of the main themes of that blog was this kind of this rabbit hole and how I just kept falling down this rabbit hole. And so I was reviewing courses that I would buy and they just wouldn't work, right? And we can argue about what works and what doesn't work, and did I really do the work in order for it to work? You understand where I'm going with that? And that can always fall into question, right? Because we see success everywhere, more now than ever, and yet many people still fail themselves. And so my journey began many years before I ever earned $1 online. Matter of fact, I think the first real shot I had at it was I bought a course from a guy by the name of Chris Farrell, I believe his name was. It was like build a website in 60 minutes or something like that. And the whole course was not even really about building a website. It was more about being an affiliate, right? You see that all the time is affiliate marketing. And affiliate marketing could absolutely work, and it takes a lot of effort like any business. And so that kind of opened up my eyes to this whole Google and ranking and building sites and doing all those crazy things. And then there was many in-between businesses that I tried. One of the things that kind of started to take steam was generating leads for online colleges and universities, believe it or not. First LLC was called the MyCS Network. My college solution borrowed 100. Well, I didn't personally, but my business partner at the time, which was also one of my best friends, he had a very wealthy family friend who loaned us $100,000 only to be paid back with equity if we ever sold, right? That fell by its wayside, although it generated a lot of money, believe it or not. When I say a lot of money, $200,000 a year, but my friend quit his job to run it, and so he took most of that money. And it was just something that, that could have been huge, but we were really generating this money based on my buddy's relationships because he already worked for a lead generator, probably still around today. And so that was kind of this first hack at like, wow, these sites and ranking and, making sure that, your website is showing up could generate money, and it could generate a lot of it. And that led me into kind of this waiting period of like, I don't really know what to do. I actually quit my teaching job in 2009. And this is how I always remember the time frames, because I bought into a sporting goods store, borrowed money from my father, thankfully paid them all back, and bought into another friend of mine's family business. 2.5 years I did that. And I remember always thinking to myself, man, it's decent money, but I miss the freedom. You know, I was working 6-7 days a week, newly married. I just missed the freedom. And it brought me into this realm of this feeling of missing out on what I was doing prior, which was this whole online gig. And what I was doing prior, even though it wasn't working, I just had this urge and this pull always brought me back to this online game and this online world. And it just never left me. It didn't matter what real estate I owned. It didn't matter what business I had. It didn't matter what job I had. I just knew deep down in the core that I will make it work. I just knew it. And one of the things that kind of changed was a Facebook ad. You got to fast forward to 2014, right? This is jumping around businesses. Then I went back into the teaching to give me time to study and to figure out how to make this work. And I saw a Facebook ad, and it was a man, it was a dirty man's hand. And I believe the heading was "Hard Workers Wanted." And it actually was an ad that from somebody I was following online. Okay, I don't want to mention any names here. He's actually not online anymore, but this guy Brad, who I had a lot of respect for when it came to kind of affiliate marketing. And this business model was where he turned and had his paradigm shift, was like, wait a minute, I'm doing this all wrong. I'm going to turn off the light behind me. Where he had this feeling that he was also doing it all wrong. And he changed his entire business model from affiliate marketing to this lead gen game, to this SMMA agency, right? They didn't call it an SMMA. They didn't call it back then that. And I immediately knew this was it. I immediately knew that this business model was the first non-shiny object business model that I can do, that I could be proud of, that I could tell my friends and family about. And it was this. It was because of this that my life changed. It wasn't the model. It wasn't, the timing. It wasn't my work ethic. It wasn't the action I was taking. It was the main core turning point in my mind that changed it all. And I don't know if you're watching this now and you can relate to this, but when you try to start a business that you don't want to tell people about, you will never succeed. And I want you to re-listen to this, because the entire theme of this video is going to come down to this. And it is the one thing that if you get right now and you just say, that's it, I'm going to do what James told me to do. If you do this in the next 3 to 6 months, your life will be different. Nobody talks about this. And I'm still to this day confused about why nobody talks about this. If you look on my channel and other channels, you see cold emailing scripts, you see cold calling, you see cold prospecting, you see advertising, you see Facebook ads for your agency, pay-per-click advertising for your agency. And although all those things can come into play, until you shift into this mindset, you will struggle, and you will struggle dearly. And you can use this for an SMMA business, or you can use this for whatever business that you want to build, but you must do this, and you must do this now. And by the time this video ends, I want you to immediately start doing this. And that is open your damn mouth about the business that you are running to every single person you know. You can't find your client, you can't find your first client. It is sitting right under your nose. And the only reason why you haven't landed anybody yet is because you're not opening your damn mouth. You're not telling everybody what you're doing. And that, my friends, is the secret sauce to your success. If you can't tell the core people in your life, your mother, your father, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, and all of their acquaintances about your business, then why should somebody who doesn't know you at all ever do business with you? Businesses start always from within the network, in the support that you have from your friends and family. They start there. And then guess what starts to happen? The voices start to fly. The mouths start to move. And it slowly creates this ecosystem of people who start to know what you're doing, can now have a conversation with you. You can have a conversation with them. And if I would reveal something that I've probably never talked about I'm going to do it now. And that is, the first few clients that I landed wasn't from a Facebook ad. The first few clients that I landed was absolutely not from a pay-per-click advertisement. And the first few clients that I landed, matter of fact, none of them ever came from cold calling or cold emailing, because guess what? They didn't have to. And if you check the video that I'm going to post up here, I actually explain in detail kind of this journey that I went on. And the journey started with me finally saying, I will tell the world what I do, and I will eventually allow the world to come to me, where I can then do what? Tell them what I do, and then have them pay me for it. And so the entire point of this video again is you must tell people. You must tell everybody, because you don't know if that first or second or fifth client is right under your nose. Matter of fact, you're probably saying to yourself, he's right. Like, I really don't tell anybody about this. And you're probably thinking to yourself, I just wanted to become a little bit successful before I do. I just wanted to make a little bit money before I do, because I need to prove to the people closest to me that I am worthy of their business. And the reality is the people closest to you are the ones that will lift you up and give you the platform to then go out to the cold world and ask them for money. So let's call a spade a spade. The tips, the tricks, the YouTube videos, the gurus, the whatever, none of that's going to do anything if you don't tell the closest people in your life what you're doing, and you don't ask them for a shot at their business, okay? And so what I started to do was I started to talk. Look, I can rank you on Google. Look, I can get you leads through easy campaigns on Google with advertisements. Look, Facebook ads, they're hot right now. Like, we could run a branding ad. And I didn't even really know how to do any of that stuff, right? And the motto, also agree with it, if you get and remove yourself from the freaking knowledge monsoon that we all have to consume on a daily basis, whether I'm by accident, you will start to realize that if I'm just, and I've talked about this before, one chapter ahead of the person I'm going to talk to, if I even know pay-per-click advertising, and I even just need to talk about it for 15 seconds, you know more. There is not a lot of knowledge that is needed to land client in this business or any business. And so I'm urging you, my YouTube audience, to open up your mouth and watch how fast you start to realize, wow, I know a lot of business owners. Wow, Susie knows a lot of business owners. My best friend, actually, his father owns a business. And don't be embarrassed to ask for their business, because guess what they're not afraid of? If you know a plumber, guess what they want you to do? They want you to hire them to do something in your home or your parents' home, whatever age you are. Don't be embarrassed about the age you are and whether people are going to take you seriously. Don't be embarrassed about how old you are and if people are going to take you seriously. I can promise you, reciprocity falls in the hands of those who does something and doesn't expect anything in return. It is not as powerful as money. And money is the most powerful thing that we have in this world, whether we all want to admit it or not. And you can think about it in a positive manner, because money makes good people better and bad people worse. And if you understand the concept that money is just a tool of exchange between one hand to another, then you won't be afraid to ask for it, because everybody else is asking for money. Matter of fact, everybody else is asking you for money. So why don't you feel worthy enough to ask other people for money? In addition to asking them for money, you're going to be giving them more money in return. That's the entire point of what we do. So let's get something straight in this video. I want you to leave this video and I want you to write a list of everybody you know. And I want you to create that whole, friend diagram of who knows who knows who. And if you know what they do for a living, you will find that you all know a ton of people who own businesses or know somebody who owns business. And you start to talk and start to tell people what you do. You will find a client in the next 14 days if you do this, maybe even sooner. And all you do is say to them, I have started a new business. This is the business that I'm in, whatever business it is. I would love a shot to earn your business. I'm not asking you for any money. This is actually just something that I want to do to prove my worth. And then maybe you can recommend me to some of your business owner friends if I do a good job for you. Does that sound fair? We need to remove the pride out of our bodies, out of our brains, and understand that when you are doing something new, you deserve no pride. You earn the respect of others to charge them through proving it to yourself first that what you do work, and then proving it to others. I'm going to end this video now, but I want to also make it a very, very big point that I'm going to be doing a video, a full-blown video on referrals, because where my business started and where it went and as fast as it grew There is a reason for it, because I didn't leave a client alone after landing them. And I didn't even just run ads for them or try to rank their site and collect their monthly payment. I always had built-in conversations, future-paced conversations that required me and forced me, because it was always uncomfortable, to ask for referrals. I did the video on this at our live event, and I plan to do it again at our next live event. And I also plan to do a video here about referral automations to take the pain away. But I'm gonna promise you one thing: when you do a good job for one client, they will refer you. So let's cut out all the noise and let's just say, you know what, James? I am going to make a list of my friends and family. I'm gonna find which ones own businesses, and then I'm going to start talking. Guys, you have time. Everybody is so worried about tomorrow. You have time today. Let's create the relationships in our own network and learn how to ask for referrals when you do a good job for people in your network that you land as clients. And then the next secret piece of all this is, how much business do you pay out to other businesses, and why should you be their client and them not be yours? We'll do a video on that. Like, subscribe, comment down below. I'd love to hear if you agree with me or not. So put it down below. As you can see, I literally respond to 85% of comments. And make sure you turn the notifications on so you know when the next video comes out. I try to get 1 to 2 videos a week out. Peace out. I hope I got my message out very clearly to all of you.